Hi, I'm going to show you how you can add product structured data to your website using Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager is an analytics and tracking system, which can also be used as an SEO tool because it can be used to add code directly to the document object model of your website. Today, we're going to talk you through adding product structured data, which is a type of website code used to mark up products you sell on your website. This helps search engines like Google understand what your products are, what keywords they should rank for, and can improve click-through rate. The structured data we're adding to our page is in JSON-LD format, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation for Linked Data. Today, we're going to show you how to build the following variables for your markup: page URL, page title URL, product ID variable, the SKU variable or SKU variable, the image URL variable, and the product description variable, as well as a price variable. With these variables, you can build and populate dynamic product structured data markup in a tag. With the right trigger, you can fire this tag on many hundreds or many thousands of product pages quickly and easily without having to republish and re-update this schema for each page. So firstly, let's show you how to create a page URL variable. So click on Overview in your Google Tag Manager account, or start on Overview when you load up. We just need the page URL for your product, which is what you see in your browser address bar. We're going to head down to variables, and you'll see that page URL is a default variable or a built-in variable. Clicking on this variable, we can see that URL is included and the component type is full URL. So you don't need to do anything for this one, nice and easy. Next up, we need to create a page title variable, and we need this to reflect whatever product title you have on your page. For us, we use H1s on our website page to reflect product titles. So the variable you need to create is essentially a variable that extracts H1 of pages. So for us, we're using a page title variable. For you, this will be creating a new variable, new, select, custom JavaScript, and then renaming your variable to be something specific to what this is. For us, we already got this variable live, and it's called page title variable. It's custom JavaScript, and the code is a JavaScript function to query the document and select your H1, the inner HTML of your H1. So it's essentially it extracts the text of your H1. We call this something very specific, page title variable, so that we know that it refers to page titles and it refers to variables. And then you can hit save, and that's done. Next up, we're going to create a product ID variable. This is a variable that you'll probably only need to build if you're working with this system of structured data markup on WordPress. This is because WordPress uses an ID-based system to create some selectors and style some elements of your website page. If you're not using WordPress, you may not need to create this variable, but we have created it for exemplative purposes today to help you understand the concepts that we're trying to show here. So we have created this. It's again a custom JavaScript code, and it basically makes our understanding and our ability to add more nuanced variables more simple. So I'll just go ahead and show you. So again, for you, it'll be a new variable. We're going to use one we've already made. It's custom JavaScript once again. We called it product ID variable. Again, it pays to be specific, so you can always remember what it was. We're essentially extracting the query selector that includes product or div/id/product, and we're getting the ID, which essentially is returning a numeric value, something like this. Once this code is pasted in, you can hit save if you need this. If you don't need this, then you don't need to do this step. Hit save and that will save your variable. The next one we'll need is an image URL variable. So for this, we can go to our page, inspect, and you can see where your image URL is stored. So for us, our image URL variable is this one. I had a few goes at this. There were no single way worked very well, so I did a few iterations to try and get this to work, and it ended up relying on the product ID variable to work. So we're essentially taking the selector from this and including it in here, but also including a variable for our product ID. So essentially, this variable populates our variable, which is called selector here, with the product ID of the page. So the selector we're using is this, but this we want to be dynamic, which is why we use the product ID variable. So this is the code you need. Once that's done, we can then use the rest of this JavaScript to create the image in the format that we want. We're also removing any params. The params I found to break the validation in the structured data test tool. So we've added some JavaScript to just delete the params. The image URL still loads fine, so no issues there. Once you're done adding this code, press save and close. I'm going to discard changes because I don't want to actually change anything. The SKU variable. So the SKU or SKU variable is another custom JavaScript. We got this by heading to our product page, right-clicking and inspecting our SKU, and then copying the selector. Once again, you're going to need a new variable, but we've just created this. So we've got the naming convention, SKU variable, SKU variable. It's custom JavaScript. Once again, you're going to paste in this JavaScript function. You're going to define your variable as product ID and add the product ID variable that you created earlier. So this is a JavaScript variable. This is a Google Tag Manager variable. It can be a bit confusing, but hopefully that makes sense. Then essentially we're pasting in the selector we just copied, and again replacing the specific static product ID with this dynamic product ID version. Once that's done, you can close out. I'm not going to save because I've just changed it. I don't want to change it. Next up, we're going to create a product description variable. So for us, once again, head back to your product page, go down to where your product description is, and inspect. We're going to copy selector and again, create a custom JavaScript tag, which you're going to call product description variable. Paste in this JavaScript, and this would essentially mean we can extract the text content of the product description, and this will give us the product description from each page. Once you're done, press save, and you'll have product description variable marked up. We also have price variable to define. So once again, back to your product page, inspect on price. We're going to copy selector, head back to your variables in Google Tag Manager. You're going to press new variable. For us, it's just loading this one. Again, it's custom JavaScript and it's pasting in the price element. We're going to extract text content We're going to make sure that only numeric values are returned, so we're removing any escaped values, HTML values, or text strings, or things like the pound sign or the dollar sign. And we're going to return price, so we're just going to return a numeric value there. So once that's done, call it price variable and hit save. And once that's done, essentially all you need to do is create your product structured data tag. So I put everything on my website for this. There's an example on my site where there's product structured data available from one of my content pages. Essentially, you're going to go to tags in Google Tag Manager. You're going to create a new tag. For us, we've got one already. It's called product structured data tag. It's going to be custom HTML on the right hand side. Select custom HTML. Then you're going to paste in this code. This is what you'll get from our website. And my example, you'll have to replace some of the values, but then we're going to start calling our variables into this code rather than static values. So we might have name example product in there, but that won't be dynamic. That will show example product as name for every product that you fire this tag on. So we're going to want to change that to use the page URL, page title, which I will just check is right. Page title variable, perfect. Do this for all of your dynamic elements of the tag, so image, description, SKU, page URL, price variable. You'll want to do this for aggregate rating. I just added this as an example to this code because I don't actually have any reviews of my products, and I'm aware that this breaks structured data markup validation if it's not included, or at least fires warnings. So I've just included this as like a placeholder for now. It's generally recommended that you'll want this. If you don't have product reviews, go and get some. That's the best way to solve that problem. I don't have any, so I've just used a generic made up score. Once you've pasted this in and you've checked everything, you can hit save and it'll be ready to go. You'll need to define a trigger. You'll probably get a warning that you should add a trigger, but you can save and close out of it without doing so. One thing I have added is a static value, which you may want to make dynamic, or you may want to reference certain periods or sale times, is the price valid until. So this is generally, again, something that's recommended. Google seems to warn, and structured data tools seem to sort of flag if this isn't available. I tend to just look in the future and say, this is probably when I'll review my prices. So this will remain until then. So that's how I do it. I just generally add a date in the future, but I'll be interested to know how you guys do this. Let me know in the comments what you use as the value in your price valid until field. And obviously define your currency. If you've got more currencies, then add a list. Once that's done, hit save. The last thing to do is to create a trigger. And this is very simple, and it basically helps us fire the tag on the correct pages. So for us, all of our products exist within a certain subfolder on the site, which is SEO course product. So we're going to create a new trigger. We're going to call it product trigger. So that it goes on to it only fires on our product pages. We're going to say page URL contains SEO course product. And that will be where this product tag will then fire. So just once that's done, go back to the tag. Make sure you call your product trigger in the triggering section here and just add that. So it's super easy to do. Just say select from the list, product trigger, and then save. Once that's done, there should be nothing stopping this from working. So you can test that by going to preview mode. We're going to click on, so that's what we want to load up. you'll get a new window with the site and the URL you entered, and you'll get a message saying connected, which is good. That's what we want. SEO courses and products. We're going to click on a product and test it. And we're going to see container loaded, load here, and we're going to see that our tag is fired. And an interesting point I suppose to show you now is that variables is the variables section of this. So there's tags, variables, the data layer. Essentially the variables contain details about the variables you've created and what's being found. So for us, this is a really interesting one. The product ID variable finds the numeric value, which is also the post ID of the page. So WordPress's posts or products or whatever, which can be the same, but this product ID variable just returns the numeric value, which then we've been able to build into additional variables to pull out what the things we want. So the URL we want here, rather than it breaking or becoming a null value. You've got product description there. We've got the SKU. We've got page title, how to add product schema markup. So this is exactly as we'd expect. So then it's probably what I would then do, what I recommend you do then is before you publish anything through Tag Manager is just make sure that the schema validates. So inspect and search for JSON, find the right one. For us, it's this one, and we're just going to go copy, outer HTML. We're going to go to the schema markup validator. We're going to press new test. We're going to paste the code in there. You can see that this is what's been pasted in from my copy. And then, yeah, we can see it validates. So that's exactly what we want. We've got the price currency, valid until, got the URL. We've got the product title. We've got the image URL and the description and the SKU. So we know that all works. We're happy with that. We can test another page if we want to. We're going to go here. Should we do how to optimize? And we can see the product has worked. So we've got the variables and the values, names and the values. So that's all good. Obviously, you want to make your review ratings into dynamic values as well, rather than static, which might not. Once that's done, you can close out of your test tool and then just hit submit. So that's it. The reason I put this together is to try and help people understand the concept of how Google Tag Manager can help you roll out schema quickly across many hundreds, many thousands of product pages. There's a caveat here, and I wouldn't actually recommend using this on WordPress, given that WordPress generally is very well supported with plugins that do schema automatically. That is the fastest and probably more often than not the best way of rolling out schema markup across your website pages on WordPress. However, there are caveats to that. If you don't have access to install plugins, which many people don't, but you do have Tag Manager access, this is a good workaround for that. If you aren't happy with the schema options that WordPress offers via its plugins, then this is another good option for that. Or if the schema options that WordPress or the schema that WordPress has rolled out to your website is not specific enough, or it misses elements, or there's more elements that you would like to mark up, then again, this is another good way to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful. I've enjoyed making it. There's another video like this which explains breadcrumb schema markup, which I would love it if you want to go and watch, but no worries if not. I'm going to be making more videos like this, so please like and subscribe if you'd like to sort of see more. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, so please let me know what you think, and I'll get back to you if you have questions or queries or you're struggling with anything. But once again, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.